Why is Bad Bunny in the Spider-Verse? I mean, the hood's gonna be. Not you, Payne. You go away. We're about to talk about all this and much more on this episode of the Miami Geeks. Stay tuned. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Miami Geeks Weekly Updates, brought to you by digitalcracknetwork.com. I'm your host, Punisher305. With me, as always, old school gaming specialist, Uncle Willie.
I'm going to go ahead and apologize ahead of time because today is going to be an emotional day.
Oh.
I mean,
also,
if the intro didn't let you know that, yeah, there's going to be more of that. And it's going to be more from my side than his side. So I'm apologizing ahead of time. Even though by now y'all know what you're getting into, you know I'm a bitch about something. But yeah,
that's
just wanted to get that out of there.
Yeah, he ain't wrong. But all right, fine. Let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. So it looks like Ubisoft shuts down online services for 91 games. So Kotaku reports Ubisoft shut down their online services for 91 games. Many of them are ancient, so pretty much they're just old from old platforms. But we don't discriminate old games, ladies and gentlemen. We actually cherish them. And also, with those 91, they're pretty much talking about like Assassin's Creed, Brotherhood, and a bunch of other games. Willie, why would they do such a thing? Why?
Okay, I will say this.
Okay.
First, it's not as bad as it sounds.
All right.
For example, you brought up Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Yes.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is not, you can't play using online on like PC or PS3 if I'm correct, because it used the old on live service, which no longer exists. That's beyond Ubisoft's control, and that's not something that they're, responsible for. But, for example, Far Cry Blood Dragon on PS3, Xbox 360, and PC, that's gone.
Ugh.
The first two Far Cry games on PC. Depending on how you feel about those games, there may be a problem. For most people, the high water mark on the Far Cry games is Far Cry 3. That one still has service even on PS3 and Xbox 360. So that's not a big deal for most. Now, Just Dance games.
Okay.
All the Just Dance games are no longer supported. Well, from Just Dance 2018 down for PS3, Xbox 360, Wii, and Wii U. That may be a problem for some. For others, it may not be. Just Dance is one of those, couch co-op games. There's more like party games.
Yeah.
But there are some online players. So, okay, if you play on the Wii and Wii U or the 360 and PS3, that's going to be a problem. In the case of PS3, that's all the Just Dance games. But Just Dance 2014 and 2015 will not work on PS4 and Xbox One. That sucks for them.
I mean, from the way you make it sound, they're shutting down a lot of games. Well, 91 to be precise.
They're shutting down 91 games, but it's not as apocalyptic as it sounds.
Okay.
For example, did you know that among the 91 games that are going to be shut off, that includes Rainbow Six Lockdown, which is a game that came out on the PS2, GameCube, and OG Xbox.
Okay, so in other words, they're just pretty much cleaning a house.
You're cleaning house with older titles. The original Beyond Good and Evil, the original Ghost Recon, certain Splinter Cell games, some Anno games on PC, which is a real-time strategy like Civilization, and older Settlers games. Yes, it's mostly older titles and titles on platforms that are either no longer supported or have had their support severely reduced.
Okay.
For those of you still playing Rainbow Six Lockdown on PS2, I salute you.
I mean, there has to be some sort of data that they're running just to make sure they're shutting down the right games. I mean, if they're shutting down games that have a little wiggle, I mean, they're gonna probably not care too much.
Oftentimes, yes. They look to see what the player base is on certain games before they shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't make sense to shut down popular titles unless the entire service is going down.
Yeah,
I say that because remember that Xbox Live was disconnected on the OG Xbox, even though Halo 2 was a phenomenally popular game at the time.
Oh yeah.
These things happen sometimes. At least there are some options, some next gen options that people can use as a substitute, which leads us very tightly into our next article.
You know what? And thank God you're bringing it up, because the thing is that this one, it pisses me off beyond belief. Like, you know what? Let me bring it up to you guys. So Sega will delist digital versions of classic Sonic games on May 20th. So Sega announced yesterday that it will delist standalone digital versions of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic Knuckles, and Sonic CD. You won't even have an option to buy these titles in the marketplace, like in Steam and any other place, as of May 20th. But you know why? Because they're going to put this all these games into one, which is going to be called Sonic Origins. And I'm disappointed. I mean, I like the fact they're doing a remastered version. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that they're taking away the classics just to say, hey, look, just buy this one freaking game that has them all remastered. I mean, it just takes the fun away, Willie. I mean, personally, I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I love Sonic 2. I played some Sonic and Knuckles. But if I really wanted, I want to play those classics, just the original format, the original style, everything, the music, everything. But if I wanted to say, you know what, fuck, I want to get the HD Classic, I'll buy the HD Classic too, which comes with all those games plus 2 more, I guess. And to me, I just think it's just dumb. It's just stupid as fuck. Like, I don't know why would they do that.
They do that because they want to. I mean, ultimately it's about control. If you recall,
exactly, yeah.
Rockstar did this when they announced the GTA Definitive Collection HD Trilogy bullshit.
Yeah.
Where it was automatically delisted from their own store.
Mm-hmm.
It had already been delisted from Steam because if you wanted to play their games on PC, you had to buy them through the Rockstar launcher. But the original versions were delisted before the HD version came out, the HD trilogy came out. And then when that was a garbage piece of shit that was screwing up, and they had to take it down on the PC, they didn't bring back the original ones until much later, until people started complaining. You can argue that why would you want the original version when you can have the HD version? My response would be, what if you wanted a more authentic experience?
Yeah.
The Sonic Origins collection is supposed to be remastered versions that play differently. If you want the original experience.
In the trailer here alone that I've been putting, you see it has different graphics already. Even the 3D graphics in the background, how they move, you see it's a way different experience than when you're playing the classics.
Yeah. It's more than that. It takes the lessons that they learned from Sonic Mania and applies them to this game. Meaning that these games, also it's the original levels, the original everything, but not just, made prettier, but run faster.
Yeah.
So you don't have the usual slowdown that you would have when you had a lot of objects on screen.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, but what if you want to play it the old way?
I would love the old way, to be honest. I love it.
This is ham-fisted way of them exerting control over what version of a game you're allowed to play.
Mm-hmm.
Good news is, if you have the original Genesis cards, you don't have to worry about that.
Absolutely.
If you have the Sonic Collection that came out for 7th Gen on disc, you don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
But still, for people who don't have it yet, and we're hoping to get it now.
Yeah, like just don't wait, just get it, and you'll be happy because then you'll have the classics, and then when Origin comes out, you get the Origins, and then you can play either or. You know, be like, yeah, I'm gonna play the HD version, or do a comparison on YouTube. It'll be great to watch that. But that's
that's gonna happen. You can count on the geniuses at Digital Foundry to go ahead and do that.
But yeah,
and a lot of other places will do it too.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
It's all about choice, folks. You should be able to have the choice to get it wherever you want. What if you don't want to buy the Origins collection? What if you just want to have the individual games? What if you don't care about Sonic 3? You just want 2 and CD?
Yeah. But you know what? We'll let you guys decide. Please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts and what do you think about everything we're talking about above and below all this right now. So yeah, comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this. And let's continue on, Willie, which it looks like Star Wars The Mandalorian MMO reportedly in the works for Xbox. Now, a lot of people are wondering, they're like, wait a minute, hold your horses. I thought, you know, PlayStation had something to do with Star Wars or something to that matter. Is that correct, Willie? Or is it EA?
There's going to be a remake of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Correct.
On PS5.
Yes.
Thing is that for a while now, there's been word that ZeniMax, the parent company of Bethesda, that Microsoft now owns, was going to be working on a Mandalorian game. Well, new details have come out saying that that game is still being worked on and that it might be an MMO.
That'd be interesting.
Now,
I mean, you like into all those MMOs.
This is a speculation based on old information and just, you know, possible insider information that's unconfirmed. So as we always say with these things, take it with a grain of salt.
Absolutely.
But curious for 2 reasons. One, I mean, you want to make an entire MMO based on the lore of the Mandalorian? Okay.
I mean,
I guess, you know, there's room.
They're gonna have to go
there's room there for new characters.
Definitely.
Although Disney and LucasArts are more than happy to jam old characters in there.
Get Jar Jar
but
Binks
fine.
on.
The more curious thing is an MMO. Like, don't get me wrong. There is still a market for an MMO.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy XIV is immensely popular. World of Warcraft is still World of Warcraft.
Of course.
But you would think that the company that's still working on Elder Scrolls Online and probably wishes it was doing better would think twice about another MMO?
You're absolutely right. But I think they're going to be picking on something that's going to be, you know, better than that. They're going to be like, you know what? Let's just try a Star Wars MMO. And of course, what's more popular right now than The Mandalorian? And they're going to be like, fuck yeah, why not?
Might I remind you that there have been 2 Star Wars MMOs? The most recent one being Star Wars: The Old Republic, which didn't do all that well. And before that was Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah.
Which was a trash fire in several ways.
I remember. I heard you and Cousin Jose bitching about it. I know.
No, I mean, it's not my problem. I haven't played either game.
Yeah.
Neither game offered me something that I wanted. But MMOs, at a time when MMOs are like kind of, I'm not going to say that they're completely barren. Again, Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft. But when you have 2 behemoths like that, or you want to go against them? This is like a company going and saying, "Oh no, we're gonna go ahead and release yet another battle royale because Fortnite hasn't sucked all the oxygen out of the room."
No, you know what, man? I just want to see where they're gonna go with this. Let's see how far are they gonna go with this whole MMO for The Mandalorian, and see what they're gonna bring. I'm curious to know. I am really curious. Well, let's find out. Now, Willie, this one right here specifically is meant for you. So, Sony is building a game preservation team So when I'm thinking about preservation, I'm here thinking that they're gonna put the games in jars and like make sure that they stay nice and in the way they are for like a long time. Kind of like that. Is that what's going on with Sony right now?
You know what? To be honest, that'd be a lot better than their current preservation strategy.
Let's talk about that, man.
Okay.
I mean, it's odd.
This starts with a Twitter posting from a gentleman named Garrett Fredley.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what the tweet says. Quote, "Today is my first day as senior build engineer at PlayStation, working as one of their initial hires for their newly created preservation team. Game preservation was my first career passion, so I'm ecstatic that I get to go back to those roots."
I mean, what's more to preserve? That's what I'm curious about. And on a game that's electronic.
Let's think of it this way.
Dust it off or something?
Let's think of it this way.
Go.
When the original PS1 came out, when the PS2 came out, it was backwards compatible with almost all PS1 games.
Okay.
When the PS3 came out, it originally had backwards compatibility with PS2 and PS1.
Okay.
Newer models, they took off PS2 compatibility, but you can still play PS1 games on any PS3.
All right. Yeah, I remember.
PS3 was when you started seeing digital-only games. PS4 had no backwards compatibility whatsoever, and like I would say half its library, is digital only. A little less than half. I'm not gonna say exactly half, but there's a gigantic library of games for the PS4, and a very large amount of them are digital only. Now comes PS5 that has backwards compatibility with PS4.
Okay.
And that's it. And more games are being released digital only. That leads you to a question.
Okay. What like
last year, Sony closed the store for PSP.
Yes.
Tried to close the store for PS3 and Vita before people launched like a fitstorm.
Yeah.
Now you can the store is still open. It's just crippled now. The Vita is discontinued. So is the PS3. Where are those digital games going to go?
I mean, that's a good question, man, and I'm kind of curious. Like, I'm still curious of the fact that not even the fact still if PlayStation is still going to do what you and I decide. Actually, if they're gonna make you play those PlayStation 3 and download them on your PS5, even though they're emulated, but at least have them. Right?
The main problem now, which is my main source of consternation with the PS5, is that even with their new PS Plus services that are going to launch in June. By the way, I got the email immediately after we finished the podcast on Monday.
Oh, really?
I did. They're going to allow people on the highest tier to play streamed versions of PS3 games. There will not be the option to download them. You can download PSP and PS2 games, and obviously PS4,
of course,
but not PS3.
And what about PS1? I'm kind of curious about PS1 as well.
You'll be able to download and play any game for PS1, 2, and PSP
and 4
on your PS5. And
that's
4,
weird. Why PS3? Why not
PS3
though?
PS3 is a special thing because emulating the PS3 is not trivial.
Okay.
I made the snide remark to Agent Joe. Hey, the PS3 games are playable on PC, but not all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Because PS3 emulation is pretty difficult.
All right.
Because of the way the having to emulate the cell processor and all that is very complicated, and it takes up a lot of processing power.
I get
it. It's not simple, but
it's not impossible.
What happens? I mean, for me to say that it's impossible, I'd have to be an engineer, or I'd have to be an expert on PlayStation hardware, and I'm not that level of expert.
Got it.
I don't know if it's impossible. I'm just going to say it's something that Sony either is having trouble with or doesn't feel is worthwhile. But that means that a lot of digital PS3 games that have no other option to play will be lost.
Got it.
If you remember last year when they were threatening to close down the PS3 store, people who were looking for physical versions of those digital games started bringing up the price of certain titles immensely. I'm holding in my hand the Best of PlayStation Network Volume 1, which I bought for about $30 a couple of years ago, because it has one game, Tokyo Jungle, that is not available any other way other than digital and on this disc. This disc went up in price to where at one point it was $140.
Jesus Christ.
It's come down a little bit since then because the game is still available. But unless Sony comes up with a way to preserve these games, this is going to be the only way anybody can play that game.
Wow. All right.
And it's going to be impossible to find.
I get it. And
before you ask Cousin Jose, no, you can't have my games if I die.
Yeah, there's an ongoing thing, ladies and gentlemen. If Uncle Willie dies, it's always the fight of who's gonna get his games. I already know
my kids are gonna get my games.
You see, that's
and if my kids don't want them, then my babies will get them.
Yeah, you see, that's how Willie goes, and
that's how Willie goes.
And that's how
you have no ability to. I mean, I take it back. You have the ability to, but you're wrong.
See, that's how it is. But Cousin Jose tries mostly all the time just to get those games. But he never succeeds.
All I'm hoping is that sooner or later, eventually it's going to happen. Sony is going to cut off the PS3 and the Vita, just like they cut off the PSP. Microsoft is going to cut off the Xbox 360. Nintendo has already cut off the Wii and Wii U. Whether or not you care about the Wii U, there were some good games on there that now you can only play if you have the original disc and an original Wii U.
Yeah.
There's some games that haven't even been ported to Switch yet. When Xbox Live goes on the 360, it's a lot of good games, a lot of good digital games.
Yeah.
That were never released physically. Like Dust and Elysian Tale, Castle Crashers, One Finger Death Punch. Same thing for PlayStation, Papa and Yo, Rainbow Moon. So many games that came out digitally that don't have a physical release unless you bought it through Limited Run, if Limited Run released it.
If they do.
If they did. Which Rainbow Moon, they released a PS4 version. I have it. So, unless Limited Run grabbed the game that you're interested in, and mind you, they only did 2 PS3 games, and they're both Oddworld games.
Yeah.
Yes, I have them both. Unless your favorite game is one of those two, we need preservation.
All right. And we'll see more about that. And whatever you guys think about that, please comment down below. Let's talk about that. But let's get down to the real nitty-gritty, dude. And I need to talk about this because I'm baffled about this one. And it's Bad Bunny to play Spider-Man character El Muerto in a standalone Marvel pick for Sony. Like, look, oh my God, my head hurts just thinking about it. Why, out of all things? Okay, first of all, they want to make this be like El Muerto is marked to be the first Latin superhero to get its own film in the universe of Marvel characters. Correction. Sony Spider-Man verse, not Marvel MCU, but there, okay? And they trying to make this whole thing happen like, oh my God, it's gonna be awesome. But then they choose Bad Bunny out of all the fucking people in this freaking world. Bad Bunny. Have y'all not seen freaking what a Muerto looks like? He is the downgraded version of Bane, I guess, from DC. Like he's going to be a freaking.
And Bane was already downgraded. Let's be honest.
Yeah, right. And look, and the thing is that he's a freaking wrestler with superpowers, and he fights. Now I have no idea how this has to blend in with Spider-Man in any way, but now they want to put Bad Bunny, out of all people in there. I want to see how he's gonna gain this muscle. I don't know who's gonna watch this movie, but I'm pretty sure I already know who's gonna go. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be all the fans that love Bad Bunny. And I'm just baffled about it because I'm here going. First I thought I was like, oh, is this still April Fool's? Because I don't believe this shit. But no, it's actually a real thing. Bad Bunny for El Muerto. Willie, I cannot make this shit up. Why?
Okay, let's get more information here because
Please.
that's the highlight of Sony's presentation at CinemaCon.
Okay.
CinemaCon's going on right now. It's a convention that's meant for theater owners to hear from the studios what projects they got coming in. Sony has a lot of goodwill because they've had a pretty good run.
Mm-hmm.
They made $3 billion last year. And that's not counting Spider-Man Save the World. I call it that because it saved the world.
Indeed.
So theater owners, and because Sony doesn't have its own streaming service, that means that they're committed to theaters only. So theater owners are very interested in what Sony has to say.
Mm-hmm.
And Muerto wasn't the only thing they announced. They announced other movies. Key among those, Bullet Train, which is a Brad Pitt movie, and it already has a trailer. There's also a trailer for a movie called Where the Crawdads Sing. Fine. There's talk about a Venom 3, because of course there is.
Of course.
All they did was show a title card of that. There's nothing else past that.
Yeah, which...
And they did show 15 minutes of advanced footage, lucky them, of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
I'm pretty sure they lost their minds when they saw
that. That movie was pushed back to June 2nd, 2023, with the second part coming out Easter weekend of 2024. They also showed a footage for a George Foreman biopic that's supposed to come out April 7th, 2023. There's also another movie called The Woman King. So this isn't the Bad Bunny thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't the only thing that they announced.
But this one
it's just that number one, they announced a Spider-Verse movie starring someone that nobody has ever heard of, and nobody's ever heard of him because he's only been in 3 or 4 comic books.
Yeah.
He has not been around very much.
I would have been like, okay, we're gonna make a standalone movie for maybe this guy named Miles Morales. Have you heard of that guy? Is that a curiosity? Maybe.
They have this whole Spider-Verse that they have to try to make movies out of because the only characters that Marvel's interested in, they've already been used. They may want to go and see more, more Sinister Six characters. We already saw Doc Ock, we saw Mysterio, we saw Electro, we saw Lizard. We saw, we saw the bigger numbers.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll want to go and see Negative Man. Maybe people want to see Negative Man more. Oh, we saw the Vulture. I'm sorry, I forgot about the Vulture.
Yeah. And somewhat Hydro Man, but
Sandman.
Yeah.
Hydro Man was thought of for Spider-Man Far From Home, but it just turned out to be Mysterio's shit. Of course, it was Mysterio's shit.
Of course.
But we saw the more recognizable characters.
Yeah.
Maybe you can pillage from Daredevil because technically they have rights to characters like Kingpin and Jigsaw. No, they don't. They have not Kingpin. I don't know why I said Kingpin. Maybe Jigsaw. Maybe Jigsaw. Because Jigsaw's a Daredevil enemy, but he's fought Spider-Man too.
But wouldn't he be part of Punisher as well?
No, Punisher's separate because the Punisher is crossed. That's the thing with Jigsaw. Punisher has crossed paths with Spider-Man, just as Jigsaw has. But Punisher's his own character, and Jigsaw is technically a Daredevil enemy.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, but I mean, still, they have this whole stable of characters that they can use. We've already heard a Madam Web movie going to be announced.
Yeah.
They're still playing around the idea for Spider-Gwen or Silk or there's characters that they have full control over, and that maybe Marvel doesn't want to get into.
Okay.
Why El Muerto?
I don't know, and that's the thing that
the only
that
reason
irks
why
me,
I
dude.
can think of it is because they want to say they're the first ones to have a live action Latino character.
That's the only thing I was saying. That's why I was like, why didn't you just get Miles Morales?
If you're going to stretch the concept of a Latino character, may actually go to Fox because the New Mutants had Sunspot, who's Brazilian. But that's semantics. They want to have they want to be the ones to say they have the first Latino superhero, because they hinted at the new Falcon and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Of course.
They and maybe Sony wants to get whatever it is. The thought of such a low level character, so low and so obscure, being the vehicle for a film.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't jump money. You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's without casting Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Like, what he's going to do? Make El Muerto that popular all of a sudden, for something like that? I don't think so, dude.
Like, okay, all right. Let's go ahead and not, if we were to think within the confines of Latino wrestler.
Okay.
You mean to tell me that Dave Bautista's busy that day?
Not even Dave Bautista. Oh, well, yeah, because they need a big character. You're right.
And Muerto he's not a spindly Eddie Guerrero style wrestler.
No, and he's not freaking what's his short guy's name? Freaking I can't remember his name. Rey Mysterio.
He's not a Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
He's not a Rey Mysterio. He's not a lithe, lean luchador. No, he's a beefcake. And
he's a massive guy.
The comparison is Bane.
I mean,
which,
of course.
by the way,
you look at him, he's wearing a mask just like him with a freaking skull in the front of his head. Which I was like, okay, you're resembling a skull in front of your head like Punisher, and then you're wearing a luchador mask like Bane.
And I just want to bring up, WB has fucked that one up twice. Because first they got a dude who all he did was growl. I know you love that one.
Stop.
And then when they had a chance to do it again, they got an Australian guy.
Why?
Because reasons.
You know what? Let's continue on, Willie, because I'm gonna have a heart attack somewhere around here.
Okay, fine. Did I mention that? Did I mention that Sony's also talking about a Robotech movie?
Vete pa carajo. Yeah. Please. Because Sony. This is actually going to be a Sony podcast because everything we talked about almost today was Sony related. But yeah, Sony nabs Hawkeye director helm a live action Robotech movie, and the director they got was Rhys Thomas. He's going to direct. What?
Rhys Thomas.
Rhys. Okay, Rhys. So Rhys Thomas will be directing the live action adaptation for Robotech for a Sony Pictures, according to Deadline. You know what? This guy has done some pretty interesting movies. He's done Iron Man, Punisher Warzone, and of course a little bit of Hawkeye, right? No, those are the script. Those are the writers written by. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes,
sorry, my mistake.
Art Markham and Matt Holloway are tagged to write the script. They wrote Iron Man and Punisher Warzone. And Mark Canton and Gianni Nunari are going to produce it. And they're saying that they're adapting this from the original from three original movies.
Three?
Super Dimension Fortress Macross, Genesis Climber Muspedia, and Super Dimension Cavalry Southern Cross. I know that I spoke complete French to you, and that's okay because it's Japanese.
No, thank you, because everybody saw me in the face with my face like, what? Like, the fuck are you talking about?
Robotech is the U.S. localized version of Macross, which is Japanese, which is anime, and it was brought over here by Harmony Gold. And how the hell they got the rights from Harmony Gold? I mean, it's shocking to me because Harmony Gold sucks.
Yeah.
But whatever. Listen, Sony doesn't have a tentpole. Sony doesn't really have, outside of Spider-Man, they're struggling to have a Fast and Furious like Universal, a DC like Warner Brothers, let's face it, fucking Marvel, Star Wars. Name your fucking franchise from Disney.
Yeah.
They want to have that tentpole.
I get it.
Warner Brothers would love to have Wizarding World. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But
let's.
But you know, Sony is trying to find something that they can serialize, that they can turn into its own tentpole.
All right.
I wish them luck.
I do too. I don't want to be a big dick about it and bash them like that. But the thing is that Sony has a reputation of making some fucked up movies that you're like, why? But
Sony's already reeling from the poor performance of Morbius.
Yeah.
A movie which I have yet to see because I am not interested in it.
And I was one that was interested. I really wanted to watch it, but I was like, I don't want to go. Like after a while, I was like, I don't want to see it. I'll wait till it comes out, on a specific network or whatever and watch it. Or,
that one's a tricky one because remember I said it, Sony does not have a streaming service.
Yeah.
So true. I believe Stars is the one that gets first dibs.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not Stars, it's someone else. I apologize. I didn't look this one up ahead of time.
I could tell you as much as not gonna be fucking Disney Plus. So that's a fact.
Well, no, obviously not. As a matter of fact, Spider-Man No Way Home, after it finishes in pay-per-view,
yeah,
it's gonna go. I think it's gonna. Where's Spider-Man?
It's Stars. It's going to Stars. Actually,
it's going to Stars.
Yeah, it's Stars.
Let me see.
No, check it out. It's pretty. I could say I'm putting all my eggs in this basket.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. And it won't hit Disney Plus until July 2023.
Wow.
So no, it's on Stars now.
And you know what?
So
I'm okay.
Sony has their use, for the streaming strategy. Hey, it works for them and it works for the theaters.
Yeah.
The theaters are the ones that are happiest about that because, they get to have a movie that's going to be exclusive for longer. And that matters. That does matter.
But let's get on to something else, Willie, which is going to be the last subject that we're going to be talking about. Because we brought it up very briefly. It was about WB. And it looks like Warner Brothers Discovery decided that CinemaCon in Las Vegas is a good place to, a good place as any other to try to will their DC universe back to existence. And I don't blame them. Because I know they're trying super hard now that they bought this they just bought it over and they're just, it's technically a piece of shit that they bought over. So they're like, fuck, how do we fix this? Well, let's push out all these movies that we're going to be showing. And it's not just only DC movies. Let's just be honest here. Because besides, of course, let's get the elephant out of the room. We already know that Batman 2 is coming out. They already announced it. Hallelujah. Amazing. I can't wait for that movie. But they also talked about Barbie, the Flash movie, and others. Willie, let's get a little into this before we finish. What are the things that they're showing off here just to bring back Warner Bros. Discovery right now?
Okay. Obviously, since it's Warner Brothers, the focus is DC. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right. Batman 2 and Robert Pattinson is going to be the Batman again.
Of course. Yes.
And actually, they're still talking about the Flash movie.
Yeah.
They brought some footage out, but it's not sure what they're going to do. The whole thing with Ezra Miller is still hot on their minds because, yes, he's getting arrested left and right. He's getting into a lot of trouble. That's bringing a lot of heat for them. Mm-hmm. And as a corporation would, they're thinking about, possibly cutting their losses. But they still sunk a lot of money into this Flash movie.
Yeah.
which is going to. It's already been filmed. We were talking about the possibility that maybe in reshoots they'll redo the ending to where the Flash is somebody else. Maybe they'll get Grant Gustin to be the Barry Allen,
I
or they
still say
might
it's a
even go
possibility.
the Wally West route. And now I saw something from TMZ of all fucking people saying that there's a possibility that the Flash might bring back a Adam West's Batman and Christopher Reeve's Superman, which I'm of two minds of. By one end, I mean, do you really have to go and bring back dead people? You really have to pull up a Rogue One. But by the same token, how fucking awesome would it be if you saw the old Super Friends Justice League in the fucking Hall of Justice? You have Linda Carter there. You put whoever you want for Flash or Green Lantern, Superman, Batman, and Robin.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I think if done right, because I don't want to shit on nobody's parade on this one, but if it's done right, it's kind of like a quick glimpse type of thing, which you'll have OG Batman, Michael Keaton there, and you're gonna have like the actual Hall of Justice with those characters there, just kind of like a quick glimpse. Don't make it too CGI-ish that to a point where you're like, oh, this is gross. But if it's done right, I think it'll be cool to see it for that few minutes only.
I had sent it to you. This is something that happened if not last year, the year before. Movie Bob had done a thought experiment about how to fix the DC universe.
Yeah.
And how he would reboot everything with Flashpoint. And he brought it up. He said, just make it a thing. It's just a small thing. You don't even announce it. You don't say anything. But just have a thing where Barry's traipsing through the through the Speed Force and going through different time periods, and he ends up in the original Hall of Justice. And Christopher Reeve, Burt Ward, Adam West, Linda Carter, and whoever you want to have, either as Aquaman, Green Lantern, or Flash. Well, Flash has to be there.
Yeah.
Because they just a 1 minute thing where he's in there, and all of a sudden Linda Carter turns around, Barry. And Barry Allen is like, oh, I'm sorry. And the other Flash says, don't worry about it. Happens to me all the time. And then boom,
I think I'll love
eats out, and you have a final shot of the six of them. And people would lose their fucking minds, and I would probably cry.
Like everybody did with the Avengers and shit like that. Yeah.
No.
I agree.
You don't understand. The Avengers, for Endgame, that was like a 10-year tantric release.
Yes.
But seeing the original freaking Super Friends, and especially they're talking about doing a freaking Wonder Twins movie.
Yeah, I saw.
Tell me you wouldn't lose your shit if you saw that.
Oh no, I will definitely lose my shit, and I hope for some odd reason they play the kind of like the theme song when that's happening. But it's some other way. I don't know how, but if they played it, I would just be like, I'll get on my chair and just start. Huh?
You just sang the theme to Masters of the Universe.
Did I?
Yes, you absolutely did.
What the fuck was that? You know what? I don't remember. For some reason, I can't
blame it on that alcohol, because that's what I do.
Well, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to blame it somehow. For some reason, I thought that was the Justice League song. Oh well, fuck it, and there goes my brain.
Punisher doesn't drink that much, so we'll just say that he looked at a label of a liquor bottle and that he got a contact high through his eyeballs.
I mean, fuck. I mean, okay, fine, but I was like, for some weird reason, I thought it was.
But okay,
well, whatever.
To finish up, because I know we're running long here.
Yeah.
They also showed a trailer for the first Barbie movie, which I saw it. Whatever.
Oh, okay.
They're talking about a fucking Timothée Chalamet Wonka origin movie. They brought up the Elvis movie, which I have to admit looks pretty fucking cool.
It does. That does.
And Tom Hanks is in it.
Yeah.
And they also brought up a little bit of talking about Fantastic Beasts.
Okay.
Which there's still no word on this, where the fourth movie is going to come through, and that movie is tanking hard. There was rumors that WB may possibly be offering J.K. Rowling money to take over the Wizarding World franchise so that she has nothing to do with it.
Got it.
They show off more. They talk more about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I cared about, which they talked about, is Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Yes.
Because I'm sorry, that is the most underappreciated movie that DC has. And I know that the hardcore Snyderverse fans are probably thinking that I'm a fucking shill because how can I like that piece of shit movie? Y'all don't know what the fuck good movies are. I'm gonna go there. Fuck all y'all. All right? I love your passion. I love your energy. Fuck all y'all. All right? Move on.
That movie was fucking great.
The only people that care about the Snyderverse are all y'all. He moved on. He got his fucking audience participation Oscar for Army of the Dead.
Yeah. Fucking horrible movie.
I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be mean. I understand that people have a passion for things that they like. I'm the same way. Those same people are probably sitting there telling me to go fuck myself when I talk about the PS3. But let's face facts. Ultimately, at the end of the day, no matter how much I love the PS3, I'm Rock 2 and I should go fuck off.
I mean, I won't say it.
I will. I ain't afraid of it. If the PS3 was like that, it would still be fucking around.
True. Well, yeah.
And if the fucking Snyderverse was that good, it would still be fucking around.
Definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Like, what do you think of everything we just talked about now and earlier in this podcast? Please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think Willie's a dick? Please. Also, comment down
Willie's
below.
a huge dick. He's enormous. Like, pus covered. I'm okay with y'all saying that. Not everybody. Listen, we don't all have to agree.
No,
it's okay.
We don't have to.
It's okay for you to think
we all have,
I'm an absolute
opinions,
dumbass.
Dude.
It's okay for you to think I'm an absolute dumbass for not thinking that the Snyderverse is the best thing since sliced bread. I'm sorry. I don't know if you've had some lately. Sliced bread is pretty good.
Yeah, with butter.
Especially with butter.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with butter. But it's okay. We don't have to disagree. You could think I'm an asshole for thinking the Snyderverse sucks. I could think you're an asshole for holding on to that. We'll go out, get a couple drinks. We'll laugh about it.
Yeah. I mean,
or you'll punch me out. Whatever. Either way, it's going to be an interesting night.
But yeah, and he's right about that, ladies and gentlemen. But still, comment down below. Let us know what you think of everything we just talked about. And we just reached our end of our show. Thank you so much for joining us today on this amazing podcast. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button just to know we come up with some amazing news, which is 3 times a week. Mondays, Wednesday, and Friday, and a little something in between. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you on Friday. Peace.
Ah.